Hello, good day to all my Form 4 students. Today we are here to continue on the chapter Chemical Formulae and Equations, and we will be doing part 7 of this chapter. What am I going to discuss in this part 7 of the video is regarding how to determine empirical formula for magnesium oxide. Now, in part 6 of my video, teacher have mentioned about empirical formula. In fact, I have introduced the meaning of empirical formula. Now, empirical formula for students' knowledge can be determined using two methods, where one method, the method that we are going to discuss today, is on the method to determine empirical formula of reactive metals. So what are the reactive metals? Zinc, magnesium and aluminium. Now, these metals are called reactive metals because magnesium, zinc and aluminium, they can react readily in air. So, meaning when you burn the metals magnesium, aluminium and zinc in room temperature using just the Bunsen burner, because these metals are reactive, they can just burn with oxygen. So you don't have to go through complicated setup of apparatus. Now, this is an example. What teacher have drawn is actually the example of how to determine empirical formula for magnesium. Students can look up in reference books or textbooks. Okay, in textbook on the procedure to determine empirical formula. Now, please remember the procedure to determine empirical formula is important. Why? Because this subtopic of empirical formula is very important. So, I am not here to discuss the procedure of empirical formula, or else our video will be very long. But here teacher will be concentrating on how to determine the empirical formula and the calculation of empirical formula. Now let's start. So how to determine empirical formula for reactive metals such as zinc, magnesium and aluminium. Now this is the setup of apparatus where students must label, okay, crucible lead, crucible, magnesium, and this is the Bunsen burner. Okay, or students can directly draw like this and label as heat. Okay, so there are two ways for students to write or label this apparatus. Now, the most important discussion of this video is on how to determine the empirical formula. Now, let's start. First, before students start, if you look at the procedure of to determine the empirical formula, there will be one procedure to weigh the mass of crucible. Now here teacher have given example of the mass of crucible. Then students will coil the magnesium, okay, a magnesium ribbon, okay, a magnesium ribbon which has been cleaned with sandpaper is called, cleaned, really clean properly until you can see the shiny part of magnesium. Okay, so you clean and coil, clean with sandpaper and coil the magnesium, and you put inside the crucible, okay, without the lid, and you take the mass of the crucible. So first task done, which is taking the mass of the crucible. Second task is clean the magnesium ribbon, almost 10 to 15 cm length of magnesium ribbon, which will be provided by your teacher. Clean it with sandpaper until you can see the shiny part of the magnesium. Coil it and put it inside the crucible and weigh it. So we can assume, just say, we assume that students get the measurement of 30.24 gram. Only crucible 30 gram. Okay. Now what happens is students have to heat up this apparatus, crucible and magnesium without closing the lid for almost 10 to 15 minutes. Then at one particular moment, students can see white fume. Okay, white fume and magnesium starts burning. When this happens, students have to close the crucible lid. Okay, close the crucible with lid immediately. Why? When you are closing the crucible with lid, the white fumes won't escape. If the white fumes escape, we assume that the magnesium oxide, which is in a form of fume, has majority escaped. So in order to stop the white fume, which is technically magnesium oxide, from escaping, immediately the moment we see the magnesium burning, quickly close the crucible with a lid. Now what happens is, we continue burning. We go through the process of heating, cooling and weighing. Teacher repeat. You repeat the process of heating, cooling and weighing until students see white color substance, which is magnesium oxide produced. Magnesium oxide is a white substance, a white solid which will be produced when magnesium metal burns with oxygen. Now, what happens is, when students repeat the process of heating, cooling and weighing until they obtain a constant mass. Teacher repeat, until they obtain a constant mass, we can assume all the magnesium has reacted with oxygen. So just assume after you have done the heating, weighing and cooling process at least twice, and once you are very sure that the constant mass has been obtained, just imagine that the weight taken now is 30.40 gram. Now the next task for student is to take the mass of magnesium. Now in order to take the mass of magnesium, teacher will minus mass of crucible minus mass of crucible plus magnesium minus with the mass of crucible. Why? Technically, you try to minus this with this. Okay, minus. When this minus this, technically, can you see this mass of crucible gets cancelled and we only have magnesium. Okay, teacher repeat. When students minus mass of crucible and magnesium with only the mass of crucible, technically we assume that the mass of crucible is being cancelled automatically. So that is the reason why if you calculate with your calculator, you will find that the mass of magnesium will be 0.24 gram. Now the next task is on how to determine the mass of oxygen. So mass of oxygen can be determined this way, where I will minus mass of crucible plus magnesium oxide, your last weighing, mass of magnesium oxide with mass of crucible plus magnesium. Teacher repeat, in order to get the mass of oxygen, we take mass of crucible plus magnesium oxide minus with mass of crucible plus magnesium. So this means that technically we got rid of the mass of crucible and we also got rid of the mass of magnesium also. Now what is left is only oxygen. This is how you should assume. So this shows that the mass of oxygen will be so mass of oxygen will be 0.16 gram. So please remember, students must please remember that this calculation is very important. Students must know how to calculate this. Now what happens is, I am going to teach students on how to convert the mass that students get for magnesium and oxygen into calculation of empirical formula. Now let's start. So here I have already written the element which are involved in the empirical formula of magnesium oxide. So once you hear the name, you know that magnesium and element of magnesium and oxygen is involved. Element which are involved to determine the empirical formula of magnesium oxide will be magnesium and oxygen. So that is the reason why you took the mass, you calculated the mass of magnesium and you calculated the mass of oxygen. Now, the next task for students is to transfer the mass that you have calculated. So, mass of magnesium 0.24 gram, 0.16 gram for oxygen. Now, teacher would like to highlight that the relative atomic mass. So, I hope students can refer to textbook while listening to this video. Okay, listening and watching this video. So, please remember the relative atomic mass for magnesium will be 24. For oxygen will be 16. Now, remember our calculation, the concept that teacher teach students on calculation of mole. So, what is mole actually? Mole is when we divide a mass of a substance with the relative atomic mass of a substance. So, now here how to calculate mole will be 0.24 divided with relative atomic mass of magnesium 24. So we get technically 0.01 mole, and here, okay, and here 0.16 divided with 16. Okay, or what I do is I don't write the mole. Okay, I don't write the mole. So 16 we get 0.01 mole for oxygen as well. Now let's go to ratio. How would we find ratio? For instance, 3 ratio 6, 12 ratio 36. Just save it. Just look at this. So, how would you find the ratio? Immediately, you know the ratio will be 1 to 4 to 12. Now, how would you know it's the ratio of 1 to 4 to 12? Why? Because I divided all these numbers with the smallest number, which is 3. Okay. So technically I divided all this number with 3. Divide with 3, divide with 3, divide with 3. So this is the same technique that students can use in order to determine empirical formula. Where look at these two numbers 0.01, 0.01. So this shows that the ratio is not going to be a huge problem here. Okay, ratio is not going to be a huge problem here. So what are we going to do is the ratio will be 0.01 divided 0.01 equivalent to 1. 0.01 divided with 0.01 equivalent to 1. Now, students, please remember, if you just leave your answer like this, just say the calculation of this empirical formula is given 3 marks. Just say it's given 3 marks. Do you know that if you just present your answer like this, you will only get 2 marks. Why you do not get 3 marks full? Because students have failed to write down the conclusion of this calculation. I repeat, students have forgotten to write the conclusion of this calculation, which is there must be this word written. Thus, the empirical formula is magnesium oxide. Now, can you see how I have related? Okay, ratio magnesium 1, oxygen 1. So, that's why technically becomes magnesium oxide. So, students must write this conclusion in order to get full marks. Okay, so I hope students can understand. But again, I would like to highlight that for this method on how to determine empirical formula, the procedure is very important. Even when teacher explaining the this experiment, I did manage to mention few important procedures like cleaning with sandpaper, okay, heating, cooling and weighing the magnesium oxide until constant mass is obtained. The moment students see magnesium burning and also producing white fume, immediately close the crucible lid. Then once in a while open the crucible lid to allow the oxygen to enter. Now, please remember that these at least four precautions that I mentioned is very important. It is always asked in your chemistry question. Now, without further ado, let me introduce, not to say introduce, let me help you to discuss another example of empirical formula calculation. And this time we are involving a substance called aluminium oxide. Now, please remember, if teacher mentioned the word aluminium oxide, automatically students must know that teacher have used this method to determine empirical formula. Why? Because zinc, magnesium, aluminium are the metals which are used to determine empirical formula using this method, crucible method. Alright? Okay, so let's start. So, look at the question. 0.91 gram of aluminium metal burns with oxygen to form 1.7 gram of aluminium oxide. So, there's a bit of catch in this question. So, this shows that aluminium, roughly 0.91 gram, aluminium oxide, okay, aluminium oxide is 1.70 gram. So, how much is oxygen? This is what students have to determine. Now, please remember, calculation of empirical formula is not going to be as straight and direct like this. Sometimes the calculation will be in this way. So, students have to know what are you calculating, what mass you need to minus or minus in order to get the mass. Now, here aluminium 0.91 already given. Now, aluminium oxide is 1.70. So, oxygen is technically 1.70 minus with 0.91. Okay, so 0.91. So, we get technically 0.79 gram. Okay, so even when students watching teacher's video, you can start calculating without waiting for me to calculate. Alright, okay, now, so looking at this, after students have done this calculation, you can transfer. Oh yeah, before that, we must determine what are the elements needed. Okay, not needed, sorry, what are the elements that involved in this calculation? Aluminium metal and oxygen for sure. Okay, so aluminium metal and oxygen for sure. Now, mass of aluminium, direct transfer 0.91. Now, or we can even put like this, okay, and oxygen will be 1.70 minus 0.91, which is 0.79 grams. Now, let's look for mole. What is the mole of each metal? Okay, what is the mole of each metal? Now, teacher have given the relative atomic mass of the substances. Now, 0.91 divided 27, 0.79 divided 16. Okay, so now let me calculate. 0.91 divided 27 will be 0.03. Okay, roughly I just put it. Okay, we have too much of numbers, so I take the nearest 2 decimal number. Okay, now for oxygen, 0.79 divided with 16. So students get 0.05. Okay, 0.05 mole. Okay, 0.05 mole. Now, let's look at the calculation. So, can you see that the calculation is not as direct and not as beautiful as this? Can you see it's not as direct and not as beautiful as this? So, roughly, okay, so that is the reason why roughly we can find the ratio of 0.03 with 0.03. We get 1, 0.05 with 0.03. Okay, so 0.05 divide 0.03. So we get roughly 1.67. Okay, 1.67. So if I were you, what would I do is, so ratio I times with 2. Okay, so ratio I times with 2 so that I can get the whole number as the ratio. Now please remember, when we are writing the empirical formula, we can't write like this. Magnesium 1.5 for instance, oxygen 1.7. This is wrong way of writing the empirical formula. So we must make sure that the empirical formula must come in whole round number. So that's the reason why ratio, when you times with 2, roughly here you get 2, roughly you get 3 here. Okay, this is done just to make sure that the empirical formula is in a whole number. Okay, teacher repeat, this is done in order to, sometimes you have to times with 2, sometimes you have to times with 3. The main reason we do this is because we want the ratio to be in whole number. Okay, so roughly, when teacher do like this, that means it's roughly. Now, since you have done this calculation, your empirical formula is not complete. So what do you have to do? So you have to write this dialogue. Empirical formula equals to aluminium oxide. Okay, so this is how you write. Can you see the empirical formula? The numbers that are involved in empirical formulas are all whole numbers. Okay, so I hope students can understand what teacher have explained to all of you. I will meet students in the next video on explaining the second type of empirical formula, determination. Okay, till then, thank you for watching. See you all.